And so, sir, we're now honored to bring to the cameras Jason Kim. He is the CEO of Millennium Space Systems, a Boeing company, and the patron partner, our title partner for the day, a longtime supporter of the America's Future Series. Oh, sorry, and I don't want to neglect, I'll go ahead and bring him up. I don't want to neglect Lieutenant General Chris Miller, our co-host of the event. Chris, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, David? Good to see you, Scott. I won't take
Good to
much
see you too.
time
Thank you, sir.
to echo Harry Raduege's comments. I'm really looking forward to the next 2 days of conversations. It's a great lineup and a great honoree, and I'm just enjoying the opportunity to be part of this discussion. Thanks much.
Well, we thank you both for your continued service to our nation. You teaching the young, bright cadets at the Air Force Academy on the future of warfare. Harry, keeping our nation safe on cybersecurity and other matters. And Jason Kim, good morning, sir.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Well, we're honored to have you, and thank you for continuing to support America both on the commercial side and on the national security side with satellite communications and other capabilities. It's great to have Millennium, a Boeing company, here, and thank you for being here. And we, of course, would love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you can help us kick this day off a little bit, maybe a few remarks. Love to hear what your thoughts are.
Well, it's my honor. Good morning to everybody, Dave, Scott, and Generals Miller and Radeguee. It's great to be with you all today again. When I thought about today's theme, which is innovation in the commercialization and defense of space, I really focused on national security space. It's what Millennium was founded on shortly after 9/11. And today we've actually doubled down on our commitment to national security space. And as you know, Dave and Scott, the driver is that the threats are advancing at unprecedented rates. We're now faced with a range of targets and missiles in the hypersonic domain. And these threats are faster than we can ever imagine. They're maneuverable and they're harder to see. And also with the recent ASAT tests and the demonstration of maneuvering capabilities on orbit, it's clear that the freedom to operate in space is not guaranteed. And given our reliance on space, we must be able to maintain that operational freedom and our critical space assets like GPS, missile warning, ISR, and so forth. In the defense of space, there are several points to highlight. First, we need multi-orbit approaches to the mission. For example, to ensure we have a robust, secure missile warning and track architecture, we need a layered approach across orbits, LEO, MEO, and GEO. And we should not rely on just one system to accomplish the mission on its own. The other thing I'll mention here is that the future ground operations architecture for small satellites will be a hybrid ground on-orbit processing approach. That's not going to only reduce the cost, but also reduce the latency, and it's going to move us forward towards a automated lights out mission operations approach. And at the end of the day, the defense of space will come down to this secure, resilient, and allied architecture, which leads me to my second point, what General Gutlein coined as allied by design, a joint capabilities integration and development process. The DoD is essentially building a coalition warfighting architecture where everything we do will be with international partners. And in its first 2 years, General Raymond focused on building the Space Force and then integrating that force. From what we've seen, his desire is to get partnerships to move beyond data sharing to mission sharing. This is an approach that is overarching for our architecture and enables joint operations and the support in defense of space. That's going to require interoperability and clearly defined joint requirements, not just with our allied partners, but across missions and also orbital regimes. Finally, the defense of space requires responsive space. I'll focus on two areas impactful to the small sat industry, which is responsive satellites and responsive launch. Responsive satellites are essentially low-cost, rapid reaction satellites for on-demand space support. These sats will provide a quick response, tactical space-based capabilities to service members in the field. We must be ready to deliver such small satellites rapidly. This is not only to support resiliency, but also rapid tech insertion on orbit. And from an industry perspective, the way Millennium is supporting this is through its unique position as what we call a hybrid company, where we pull the best of commercial and traditional industry together to rapidly deliver the best solutions at the best value. We must take calculated risks to yield the most reliable and resilient solutions possible. And one way is dual use technologies to further that ability, enabling us to deliver systems faster. Then we need a way to get these responsive sats on orbit as they're needed, which brings us to responsive launch. I'm not the expert here, but luckily we'll soon hear from two leaders in this area, United Launch Alliance and Virgin Orbit. Everything we're going to hear about today, from innovative responsive launch to space debris mitigation and multi-domain ISR, is essential to maintaining our critical space assets and defending and protecting our nation and our allies. So I look forward to today's speakers. Again, thank you for having me here back today. Back to you, Dave and Scott.